We continue Unit 11, solving square root equations, with flap 3 in our foldable, covering solving square root equations. To solve a square root equation, we isolate the square root and square both sides. You have to check for extraneous solutions by plugging in your solution to see if you get a true statement. Extraneous would be a false answer. Example 1. The square root of x minus 7 equals 7. The first thing we do is isolate the square root. Since the square root is already isolated by itself, we can go ahead and go to step 2, squaring both sides. When I square both sides, I have x minus 7 is equal to 49. Now we solve for the variable x. Adding 7 to both sides, we get x equals 56. Now we need to check. So plugging in 56 for x, the square root of 56 minus 7 equals the square root of 49, which equals 7. That checks. Therefore, x is equal to 56. Look at example 2. 3 equals negative 5 plus the square root of x minus 4. First thing I need to do is isolate the variable. I do that by moving the negative 5 over to where the 3 is. So I add 5 to both sides, and we get 8 equals the square root of x minus 4. Now that the square root of x minus 4 is isolated, I can square both sides. Squaring both sides gives me 64 equals x minus 4. Now I solve for the variable x. We get x equals 68. Now let's check. Plugging in 68 for x gives us 3 equals to 3. Therefore, 68 is our answer. Look at example 3. 31 equals 8 times the square root of 4 minus 3x minus 1. We isolate the radical first by adding 1 to both sides. We get 32 equals 8 times the square root of 4 minus 3x. There is still an 8 in front of the radical that is multiplied, so we divide both sides by 8. The radical is isolated. Square both sides. This gives us 16 equals 4 minus 3x. Now we solve for the variable x. Subtract 4 from each side. We get negative 3x equals 12. And x is equal to negative 4. By plugging in negative 4 in for x, we get 8 times the square root of 16 minus 1 is equal to 31. And this is true. So x is equal to negative 4. Look at example 4. The square root of 2x minus 3 equals the square root of 21 minus 2x. We need to isolate the radicals. Notice I have a radical on each side. This is isolated. Next step, square both sides. This gives us 2x minus 3 equals 21 minus 2x. Solve for variable x. Bringing 2x to the other side, we get 4x minus 3 equals 21. Then adding 3 to both sides gives us 4x equals 24. Divide by 4, and x is equal to 6. Plug in 6 for both radicals. Square root of 9 equals the square root of 9. That is a true statement, so x equals 6 is our answer. Let's look at example 5. Isolate the radicals. Square both sides. This gives us 16 minus 2x equals x plus 4. Solve for the variable. Add 2x to both sides gives us 16 equals 3x plus 4. Subtract 4 from both sides gives us 12 equals 3x. Dividing by 3 gives x equals 4. Check your answer for extraneous solutions. Plug in 4 in both radicals, and we get square root of 8 equals square root of 8. That is a true statement. So x is equal to 4. This concludes flap 3 in our foldable. Thank you.